then.
Yeah, that's right. She,
Whoops. There you go. It's just been edited. So yeah, she showed up and was thanking us for coming back, I guess.
Yes, for sure. You know, I had a good feeling about you guys the moment I saw Murasaki stuck in a tree.
I'm sure you did.
You know, my feelings always come true. They always do. Mm-hmm.
Is it not because you wanted us to leave the forest in the first place?
No. My feelings, they always come true. I'm never wrong. But yeah, thank you guys so much for saving me. And at this point, Hantai Jama nods his head and looks at Murasaki. You know, he's 10 years older than he was a few hours ago, but getting hit by Maho will do that to a guy. He's like, yes, the spirit forest, I keep saying that, the forest spirit and I feel this exact same way. Murasaki, you saved us. You're a hero. And the Owl Clan and the Shinomen Mori forest as a whole is just in your debt.
Thank you. I don't really know what to say.
Oh, and she's modest too. And of course, Isamui, we can't be overlooking your your contributions as well. You did very well. Helped us all. Baku likes you. And Baku looks away.
I smile and nod.
Let's see. I was going somewhere with that. Oh yes, of course. Now, just in case you guys did manage to come back, we made sure that Ushu Bay didn't burn the bodies of the masked individuals, just in case you wanted to get those inspected personally.
I would like to take hold of them. We learned a little bit about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the spirits are not just trying to exist either. This place, but many others. We now have a mission to stop them and fix the damage they've done.
A sobering mission, I would think, if they have the power to, summon a Mahu Sukai of such power. Myself, I would tread carefully when dealing with these fellows.
We shall.
They certainly are not to be trifled with idly. We need to monitor their actions and hopefully figure out where their next move will be.
Indeed. So would you like us to take them to have the Edda take them to our city for inspection, or will you be dealing with that yourself?
I think we should probably hold on to them ourselves. It would be safer.
Very well. If that is what you feel is best, it's the least that we can do for you two. And with that, the conversation, unless you guys have more you want to say to them.
No, I'm good.
Okay. With that, Mascarin turns his cute little butt around. Oh, you guys couldn't see that. I'm a fool. But he turns around and kind of flaps his wings and makes a gesture that you guys kind of interpret of, maybe he wants you guys to get on him.
I will oblige, and then before we take off, I want to say something to the Baku.
Okay.
Actually, I want to say something to the Hawkeye. Force Spirit again?
Yeah, of course.
If we ever need assistance, would you assist us?
This to Jama or the Force Spirit?
Both? All?
It's basically all these people in general.
At all. Gotcha.
Including Baku.
They all kind of look at their fingernails and are like, "Oh no, maybe a loyalty mission or two before before that." They say if there's anything that we can do to help you while you are within our lands or even the Empire as a whole, we shall surely do what we can.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I bow my head and say thank you very much.
What do you want to say to Baku?
Oh, before we take off, I was like, if you ever want a rematch, and then take off.
Baku just like growls and flashes you some steely claws, and says, "Oh, I'm not sure you could handle me when I'm more than 3 days old, dear Haruma."
I smile. We'll see about that later. And we take off.
Okie dokie. So you guys are, Murasaki is bowing to everybody, and one of the people you bow to is of course Denby. And Denby looks at you and he shakes his head and says, "Why is it that every time I see you I get so pissed off?"
I do not know, probably because my curse, but I tried to change it.
Yes, yeah. Well, happy trails.
Hop on them off.
And Denby will be reappearing in Infinity War. And yeah, as soon as the two of you...
Part 2.
Yeah.
He'll just appear on a battlefield and we'll just hear that tall tale music of failure.
How that snap?
Yep. Alright.
You guys hop on Mascarin and his mighty wings beat, lifting you guys into the sky, and we see a beautiful Studio Ghibli ass, just beautiful instrumental orchestra music as you guys fly from the Shinomen Mori forest, where this line's conveniently located, all across over the forest that stretches on for miles and miles. And you guys, as samurai, you were fighting through it, and you were fighting zombies and oni and corrupted creatures. But as you guys are high above it, you see it's a beautiful, lush, just jungle for miles and miles and miles of green, and it's beautiful. And eventually, you guys leave the forest and you cross over the land of the Scorpion. Nestled between some very dangerous mountains, and you sail over that, and it's the land of the Lion Clan, which is vast and beautiful fields. And then finally, you come to the land of the dragon. Mascarin, he has some hard time with this one because it's very high up in the mountains and very cold, and he's but a poor insect. But he's a determined son of a gun. He's gonna push through it, and he does. Sorry, I had to burp. He flies you guys high into the mountains until the tallest peak in all of Rokugan, where you guys have heard legends of this place. This is the House of Highlight, where the Togashi family and the tattooed monks do their spooky monk training. I'm trying to find the right thing. Found you.
I thought there was no dragon clan.
You're right, but Imperial family still own land.
You're right.
See, a little bit quieter. There we go. So eventually Mascarin just like bursts through the clouds completely and sets you guys down on some stair steps as you're surprised to see that there's a building this high up in the air. But it's kind of cutting the clouds in two as they roll by, and he sets you down. You guys are, you guys were dressed for hot, steamy jungle weather, so now being this high up in the mountains, you guys are freezing cold. But you're at it, the legendary House of Highlight, with its tall vertical towers, and yeah, it's beautiful because it's an impressive building, but it's actually not that well decorated. There aren't beautiful tapestries and stuff like the clan, any capitals that you might have encountered in your lifetime. This one's actually very drab, and from what you can gather, this is the capital of the entire empire. But Mascarin lands on a courtyard in front of the castle itself, and he lets you guys get off of him. And
All right.
some monk attendants arrive at you, and they all bow, oh so respectfully. And
I bow back.
of course, among their numbers, Togashi Lingchi, who you guys, she's the lady that gave you the cocoon when you first arrived in this empire.
Damn, did she make a track?
I actually think you guys arrive, and some tenants are like, "Oh, your guide should be here in a minute," and she comes running up the 12,000 staircase that leads to this temple, and she's like,
She had to make quite a walk in 3 days.
Sorry I'm late. She runs towards you. Well, there is a tattoo that lets you travel across the empire in a few hours.
Yep.
So perhaps she has that. And she runs towards you guys and, pats Mascarin on the back, and she says, I knew this guy when he was just a worm.
He grows quite quickly.
Yeah, they grow up so fast, don't they? She claps her hands together and she says, "So, tell me all about it. How'd it go?" And she beckons for you guys to follow her through the front gates.
I start telling her what happened
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
as we walk by. Before I leave Mascarin, I will give him one of the black robe cloaks that I took off those guys
Beautiful.
as a food.
Very nice.
He eats silk, if I'm correct.
That's right. He happily noms away at it.
Good.
So all the monks are kind of like, what are we gonna do about this thing? And you guys are led through courtyard after courtyard. You see many just tributes to the human body. These monks are just ripped and tanned, and they never wear clothes in any art, so they're all just got sports bras and harem pants on, and doing kung fu, punching each other, meditating, trying to perfect themselves both physically and spiritually, perhaps.
Enter the Dragon type stuff.
Yeah. There's a courtyard that's just bamboo things that they're walking across. The whole shebang. And all the while, Togashi Linqui's like, "Oh, really? And then he did what? And then you? Wow." And she's very impressed until she gets to two very large doors with 2 golden dragons kind of inscrawled on it. And she says, "All right, the Emperor cleared his whole schedule for you last week to meet with you guys. Let's see. Just only rules: don't look him in the eyes. That's very rude. And be polite. I hope it's great to see you guys again. Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks for helping us along the way.
Hey, no problem. It was an honor to serve the Emperor and his guests, of course. Fare thee well, and we shall meet again, I'm sure. And she jogs off in some direction. So these two big doors are pried open. Many times bigger than you guys, and you're like, I feel humbled by the grandeur of such architecture. And, there's a cavernous room poorly lit by just a few braziers as you guys walk inside. But as you guys are walking towards this path lit by fire, you notice that despite it being poorly lit on either side of you, both left and right, there are many people one way or the other sitting down like in the darkness, like they would in any imperial court. However, this one's significantly less well lit, due obviously to the fact that there's no windows in this entire place and the only lights coming from the fire and the door, which is rapidly closing behind you guys. And you guys can see quite clearly that up in front of you there's a man sitting in the lotus position on a fabulous golden throne that's doesn't look like a chair. It's just like a dragon curled up in such a way that a person could sit semi-comfortably on it. And behind that dragon's like lotus flowers that are whoosh, popping up. He looks very grand. He has a wonderful Fu Manchu and glowing gold eyes. Not that you guys would ever look in that. And he's wearing a beautiful golden green robe. And of course he has the Imperial Mon of the Togashi family upon him. He has that like royal platform thing, so it's like he's several feet above everybody, and it's like 3 platforms that get smaller and smaller as it goes up until it's just like room for him on his throne. And on each of those platforms he has his Imperial Guard on it, which are of course in this universe the Miyamoto family.
All right. I will approach as close to the first steps as I am allowed. I will bow and say, Your Grace, I would like to announce myself to you and allow you to, I guess, be introduced to me and my compatriot, Murasaki. We're humbled by your presence.
Yes, very so. Murasaki will also bow.
He nods and says, I am Togashi III. My grandfather foresaw your arrival within our empire, and he gestures with a hand, and some attendants bring out a scroll and will hand it to Isamui.
I take it without lifting my head.
And if you inspect the scroll, you'll see that it is it's brown and yellowed with age, and has a crease on it where a piece of string has like been tied around it for ages. It looks like it's at least a few hundred years old, and inside it's like in the year 1120, travelers from another realm will land in the Shinomen Mori forest and do battle with a spider oni. Dispatch a monk when the time is right with a emperor moth, and delivered to these travelers.
All right.
And you're like, damn, foresight.
Your grandfather was quite wise.
Indeed he was. That's
Very so.
What was that, Murasaki?
Oh, she said, yes, very so.
Mm-hmm. He goes, he was indeed. He had the power to see the future. Not only that, he had the power to see capability and virtue within common samurai. And I think his foresight has paid off today. You've surely having the spirit of the Shinomen Mori forest implanted with an Oni heart would do nothing good for my empire, so you have done us a great favor. And from my understanding, Murasaki, he gestures towards you, you were key in preserving the heart of one of our empire's greatest heroes. Is this true?
Yes. I did talk to her.
And she's modest too. Well, he snaps his fingers, and some attendants go to Murasashi, and they have a pillow, and on that pillow is a silk wrapping, and so they approach you, and they bow, they place their foreheads on the ground, and they hold up this silk pillow for you.
I take it.
Sweet. And as you carefully unbundle the silk, you see that there are 5 arrows placed on it, or bundled up in this. And the Emperor says, for helping Hantai Jama and my empire, I wish to bequeath upon you the dragon Yu. He says these are 5 arrows imbued by the Agasha Shugenja with the powers of the elements themselves. And if you look in your journal, you will see a docket explaining what they do. But you've been given 5 enchanted arrows. Yay! And so then he turns his attention back to the matter at hand and says, "So you are travelers from another realm, is this correct?"
In a sense.
Yeah.
And how does my empire compare to the one from which you have arrived?
It's very different. Not in a bad way.
Then in what
I'm
way?
used to it. Oh, it's
So far, the people you harbor are quite helpful and honorable. I have not yet got to see most of the Empire, however, it does seem, from flying overhead, to be doing quite well for itself.
And he nods and says, "Good to hear, I suppose. Now, I believe that you had business for me, other than getting praise. How is it that the Emperor of Rokugan can assist you?"
We were tasked with recombining the realms together. As far as we know, our original realm was shattered into 8 separate groups, this being one of them. We were tasked by, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but
Ryushin.
Ryushin, to attempt to repair the damages. To do so, we have to speak to at least the emperors of each of the realms, and I guess fix whatever's wrong, their most serious issues with the realm. There's also a group of individuals that we are investigating who are known as the 5 Rings. They are the originators of this destruction and appear to be able to summon extremely powerful and dangerous individuals using the Maho that they possess. Our goals are simple. Fix the realms and defeat these 5 rings before they can cause more damage. Do you know anything about where we should go or people we should investigate? That would be great.
Emperor's blessing or gift?
Yeah, that too.
So obviously when you say that, there's a great commotion from the Imperial Court. There was like, what the hell? Blah, 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 blah. Frightened speaking, and Togashi the Third nods his head, taking in that information. So what you're saying is that the realm which I oversee is but a fracture of the realm that you come from?
As far as we know. You possess but a piece. Yeah. You possess one of the 8 pieces of realms that were shattered in the initial attack of a Shugenja mage who we were tasked in attempting to stop. Unfortunately, we did not reach the Shugenja in time, and he was able to shatter the realms.
So if you're successful in your mission, what's to become of my people?
I am not sure. But if we do not do something, there could be greater ramifications.
And, he says, I will have to give this matter some thought. And with that, the Miramoto guards will escort you out of the chamber as as soon as the heavy door closes behind you guys, you just hear like the entire chamber be like explode and like bah! And waiting for you guys outside is Togashi Linqui. And she says, "So, how'd it go?"
Not quite sure, but it could have gone a lot worse for what we had to say.
Yeah.
Understandable. Politics is always like that, you know?
It is. And it is disgusting that politics would have to get in the way of this mission.
Indeed. But in our empire, we do not value petty words and promises. We value a person finding their own personal way to enlightenment. And I can see that you guys appear to be well on your way to finding peace with yourselves. And so you should not let the petty grinding of other people, slow down that process.
I just hope that they'll be quick with their debating, make their decisions so that we can move on.
Indeed.
Do you have anywhere we can rest for the night, or possibly anywhere we can stay that will allow us to rest before they make their decision?
Yes, of course we have the guest chambers that we'd be happy to gift you guys. She walks along you guys, and she notices that Murasaki has a beautiful gift from the Emperor himself, and she goes, "Oh, you're quite lucky."
Yeah.
Well, I hope you put those to good use. So she leads you to the guest chambers, and opens them up, and they are a windowless brick room that has like a blanket over some hay. She says, the luxury accommodations for honored guests of the Emperor. And she says, most rooms do not come equipped with the hay. And smiles.
Thank you.
Oh, but of course it's it's very important that we have our guests feel comfortable in their stay, because we know not everybody appreciates the aesthetic life that the imperial family tries to hold themselves up to. And she'll leave you guys. You each have your own separate rooms. No commingling. Even this empire isn't that loosey-goosey. So you guys are left alone in the room, and you guys are just clearly bored because nothing interesting's happening. So as you guys are kind of sitting here in what your realm might be considered a dungeon, in this realm, high luxury, the doors to your rooms open up. They slide open. Instead of revealing the hallway, they reveal the beautiful wood paneling of the geisha house beyond time. And there you see the beautifully colored kimonos of your assistants, and they're like, "Oh, master, mistress, we have exciting news. A door has opened up upstairs."
So it appears they gave us their blessing.
Oh, they.
No, but where's Ryoshin-sama? I need to talk to him for clarifications about a few things.
Oh, and there you go. But of course, if you will. Of course, mistress, if you would just step inside the meeting room, we'll see if we can summon our master. And would our Haruma master be joining her in this conference?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I might need to stay back and wait for the general or the emperor's calling, because they did say it took a few hours at a time. So I'll hang back and wait as Murasaki does her thing.
Okie doke. Sounds good to me. So, hey, you beat me to it. So our boy Haruma stands back. Murasaki enters the geisha house by herself, and the twins, of course, serve her some sake, some pork cutlets, before eventually, after 30 minutes of waiting, Ryushin appears inside the geisha house. And I was informed you needed to talk to me.
Yeah, so a few questions came to my mind. When the realms repaired, what would happen to the fractures of the realms now and the people in them?
Well, of course, the people who have been split apart, the realms weren't the only things that were split apart. Some people's essences had also been split between the different realities. Everybody from our reality, who had been their essence scattered over the realms, will of course recombine into their original self and become whole again. But of course, all the all the fakes and false people that exist in these realms they'll of course be destroyed.
Wait, is there other versions of me?
It's possible.
That would be weird.
Indeed.
Hold on, I think I have something else to say.
What was that?
Hold on, I'm trying to remember if I had anything else to say.
Okay.
No, can't think of anything else.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you for your time.
Uh-huh. Oh, well, you know, I'm here to assist, so happy to help. He walks out. Isamui, after a while, some monks come to, or some Miyamoto Bushi come to escort you back to the Emperor's chamber.
I walk.
So, upon returning to the Emperor's chamber, he looks at you and says, well, the lack of information you've been able to give us upon the fate of my people has indeed been concerning. And many of my advisors suggest that your presence could endanger the Empire as a whole. However, if what you say is true, and according to my grandfather it is, then we're not just playing with the fate of my realm, we're playing with the fate of 7 other realms as well.
You would presume correctly.
So I could not sit on my throne and claim myself an enlightened ruler if I left so many countless people to fates that I could not fathom. So, with this being said, I will grant you the blessing and the heart of my empire. I will bestow this upon your cause, so long as you promise to protect my empire from whatever threat it is that you're battling.
I cannot promise that I will be able to protect your empire from an enemy I do not know. However, I will do my best to make sure that as many of your people are not injured, and I'll make sure that I do all my actions to ensure your empire is in my best interests. I would like to thank you for your consideration and your gift and blessing that you've given us. It will be proven most valuable. In fact, while I was waiting, we were greeted by some of our guests from I can't remember his name, from Ryushin, who explained to us that a second realm has finally been opened thanks to your blessing. So because of you, we are able to continue our mission and hopefully defeat this group of Shugenja. And I would like to bow extremely low to show my great gratitude.
He returns the nod and says, well, then it is well that you go and, save other empires on your quest.
I will the door to open in front of, behind me, so that everyone can see that I wasn't bullshitting. And I will walk through it.
Ooh.
And shuts behind me.
This cutscene plays as the door opens up. And you enter into the geisha house where Murasaki has been waiting for you.
It appears we got our blessing.
Blessing? good.
And the two geisha, jump up in the air, high five each other. All right, that's great news. So, shall we escort you to the newly opened door?
Do you think we should pick up Hantai Jama and Denby?
Yeah.
And maybe Baku? See if they'll allow us to invite them on our journey.
And the
Maybe
two,
not as allies, but allies to be.
the two attendants put their hands over their hearts and say, "Alas, I'm afraid the bond that connects you and these heroes is not yet strong enough to allow them to leave their homeworld. However, now that the GM sees that you are so passionately down with these characters, I shall make it a point to make sure you can do that as soon as possible."
Copy. Alright, I'm gonna go up.
Do you know anything about the new realm? Like, whose empire it is?
I'm afraid we shall not find out until you guys.
If I remember correctly, they can't see into the realm until we go.
Yep. And they cannot not say where in the realm you shall land either.
Also, if it's the Crab Empire, that's gonna be weird as hell.
It's gonna happen. I have plans. They say, luckily, Haruma-sama, there's no chance.
There. Every time he says Haruma-sama, we.
You're both like, yes. Luckily, there's no chance that you will arrive inside of a statue or inside of a tree. So you two may rest assured of that.
But what about the tree inside of us? And I nudge her arm.
They go, oh, no, you don't have to worry about that either. Our method's a little bit more controlled than you guys exploding through time and space.
Which room is it?
It is this room right here. Oh man, I keep forgetting that my color's the same as the floor.
You don't see it.
It looks like a heart, but a really bad heart.
Wow, okay.
I thought it was his fortune cookie. Let's hope we don't get a bad fortune.
It could be Pac-Man's brother.
Right.
Alright.
Alright, so the door slides open to an inky blackness, and you guys go. They give you a thumbs up, and you shrug and go, okay. Well, I guess before you guys go in, do you want to put on any equipment or have anything like prepared to go in?
Well,
I'm gonna have my sword ready to draw. If not drawn, I'll just draw my sword and hang it over my shoulder before I enter.
Perfect. You can.
That way I'm prepared.
armor.
Alright, how about instead of a heart, I put
Alright. We'll have a Pokemon.
Oh, Sylveon!
The worst Eevee evolution in existence.
Really, I like her.
Oh.
I mean, I can't really complain because I have an evolution belt and evolution wallet, so.
Nah, I really don't like her.
what's
I'm a traditionalist. I'll go with Flareon.
Yep, Flareon's my favorite.
That's one of my favorite though.
Alright.
My apologies for this. I'm trying to find a piece of art for this map. Haha! There we go.
so excited for when this is over because I'll have level 4 fire. It's gonna be great.